Oh, good evening. Hold on, let me just fiddle around with my webcam. There we go. Probably should have done that before I started, but I checked everything else apart from my proper face cam. So yeah, good evening everybody, welcome to this little live stream. Now I'm not gonna lie, I actually don't really know what I'm planning to work on tonight, other than I've got a few little canvas paintings lying around which I want to carry on working on. So I'm gonna show you the ones that I've kind of picked to work on, and then I'll decide which one I'm gonna work on first. So my little live streams, you may have seen some of them before. So the first, or one of the ones I want to work on, is this ginormous, it's an A2 size like flower painting design. As you can see, it's got a lot of white spaces and stuff which I need to figure out what I'm doing with, start working into. So that's one of my options of things to paint today. The second painting that I want to sit and try and work on today is this one, which again, if you've watched a few of my live streams, you would have seen. It's my little, or my ginormous bear panoramic. So I've obviously got a little bear at the bottom to paint, and then I also need to rescue this little fellow here, and I need to start thinking about what I'm going to fill in the middle bits with. So yeah, that's another little painting that I could possibly work on. And then another painting that I might sit and work on, which I'm not 100% sure whether I'm actually going to do on live stream tonight or not, is this little portrait that I've been working on of my granddad. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure again which one's going to start off with. I think probably gonna go for my little flower one, and yeah, hopefully carry on with that. So let me skip on over to my little live stream view. So yeah, I've got quite a bit of work still to do on this one. I'm trying to be a bit methodical about it and start working from the bottom upwards. But yeah, I think this is probably going to be the one that I try and work on a little bit tonight. I'm not 100% sure how well my internet is doing tonight, so sorry if this is a bit skippy and laggy. I've also for some reason had a bit of an issue with Streamlabs today, where it's completely changed a load of my settings. So hopefully it's working, but we'll try and do a little bit of painting live, and then if it is a nightmare, I'll try and get my settings back to usual for my next live stream on Sunday. But yes, I think I'm just going to carry on working on this little flower one today. So I think I'm probably going to work on it for about like an hour and a half maybe. So I might set myself like a little alarm, so it'd bring me around about 10:30, 11:45ish. So yeah, but yeah, I'm going to carry on painting in this little bit here, I think. Or I might skip around and paint in some other areas as well. But yeah, we'll go for this bit because yeah. Right, I'm going to need to get out some paints. I've also got some little acrylic paint markers which I could possibly use. I'm not going to bother getting out my watercolour paints. I did originally start painting in some watercolour, but I've soon switched to using acrylic paints again. So yeah, let me grab out a few little paints and we will get on with this little painting session. Get out the dirtiest paint palette in the world. I tend to leave them to dry. I'm a bit lazy with washing out my paint palettes, but I do like peeling off the dry paint. There's something very satisfying about doing that. ouch until you bend your nail back, and then it's not quite so satisfying. So yeah, let's hold on. I'm just going to see if I can rescue my might just quickly close down this program because I think that might be affecting my bit rate or whatever it is. That's what it says anyway. Hold on, let me just close down a few of these in pieces. Hopefully my computer will then start working a little bit better if I do that. Oh, I think I've rescued it. Hopefully it won't be quite so laggy. Right, anyway. Okay, deep breaths. Me and computers don't get on, so I do tend to get a bit stressed when they go a little bit wrong. But anyway, now I've got to decide what I'm actually featuring in this bit here. Part of me wants to do like a butterfly, but then I'd need to sit and study a few butterflies as well. I could carry on painting. I think what I'll probably do is carry on painting a few I think what these are hydrangeas, I think. And possibly painting some more of this iris down here, and then we'll go from there. Just gonna see if this little acrylic paint marker is working. Oh, it will. Oh, that might come in quite handy because it's very similar colour to something that's just. Oh yeah, that's gonna come in quite handy, that one, hopefully. So I'm gonna leave that colour out. What about this one? I think these are gradually drying out on me, which is fair enough. They've been used quite well. That one's drying out on me. What about this one? That one's not really working either. What about, is there any other colours that I could use? Probably not. That's alright. That's still quite handy having this one because I can mix that up with some white and lighten up a bit. Right, okay. Come on, Meg, let's get on with some painting. Not gonna lie, I've been in a bit of a scatty mood today, so I've been struggling to actually start and get on with things. But oh gosh, that was my acrylic paint making that noise. But yeah. Hopefully I can get quite a bit of this painting done today, and a little bit more of my little bear painting done as well. Yeah, it's not actually the live stream that I planned to do today. I was going to do like a character design video where I've been writing some little poems and stories and stuff recently, and kind of trying to design characters for them, but because I've been in such a scatty mood today, I kind of wasn't really in the mood for actually doing that live. So yeah, I've kind of done a bit of a, and also I'm on a mission at the moment to kind of actually finish off different paintings that I work on, and I feel like I need to kind of make some progress on these paintings that I've been working on recently before I start doing too much else. So I'm being a good girl and actually working on getting some paintings actually finished before I start too much work on some other things. But yeah, hopefully on Sunday when I do another live stream, fingers crossed, might do like a whole afternoon type painting and art stream with me session, so I kind of do a few different projects. So I might do like a daily doodle, I might do a bit of character designing, might do something that I don't usually do, like paint like flower pots or something. But yeah, that might be a Sunday thing when I hopefully, fingers crossed, start my live stream a little bit earlier. Right, I haven't started painting yet. I need to stop talking and get on with things. Okay, so I'm going to grab a paintbrush and I think I'm just going to go straight into working on these little hydrangeas down here. That these were hydrangeas. I think if you watched the last live stream that I'd done where I carried on working on this painting, I explained that this is a painting that I started like quite a long time ago, and I only actually just rediscovered it. But because I started it such a long time ago, I've lost all like the reference photos that I was originally using for it, which isn't like a bad thing necessarily, because I can always find the reference, or I can always like use other reference photos and figure things out. But yeah, it does mean that I can't quite remember what I was putting where and stuff like that on it. But I think what I quite like about painting hydrangeas especially is that they're basically very similar shaped petals, just wiggling around everywhere. So hopefully it should be quite easy to just basically find a reference photo of a hydrangea, which I'm now doing on my iPad, and then fingers crossed we can get everything up and running. Did that program that was irritating my thing close down or not? It didn't. Hold on. Right. Okay. Right. Deep breath. Let's actually get on with some painting. Oh, that's a lovely green colour. That was using, so this is an acrylic paint marker, and it's a really gorgeous green paint. I'm gonna have to see if I can get another one of these acrylic paint markers in the same colour, because it comes in very handy sometimes when I just want to pop a vibrant green for any leafy bits. Okay, right. Really want to get on with painting these hydrangeas in. Right, so hydrangeas, images. Come on. There we go, there's one that I can use as a reference. Right, let's carry on painting these in. So I'm going to mix up a bit of the dark blue and the red to give me a bit of a purpley colour, hopefully. Ooh. And I'm just gonna, out of the reference photo, I'm just gonna kind of pick, and I think I'm going to start off with some of the darker bits and gradually build up. So I'm just going to roughly sketch out one of the hydrangea petals. Really would have helped if I'd actually kept the reference photo properly, but one little hydrangea petal there. Right, sketch out the darker bits, and then we can go back in and paint in the lighter petals in a minute. They basically all seem to have like 4 petals. Centre, centre, Okay, sketching a hydrangea petal here. I think I need to water my brush down a bit because the paint is a bit thick. Where did I put my water? There it is. Okay, gonna do another big hydrangea petally bit here. I do quite like because obviously there are sometimes when I do paintings where I'm trying to exactly copy the reference photos, but I sometimes quite like doing these type of paintings where I'm a little bit free to kind of just make up what I'm doing a little bit. It's kind of nice and free and I don't have to do exactly what I'm seeing and stuff like that. Painting some of the petals and bits of them up and then darken bits of them up and stuff like that. Add in a bit of purple. That's too dark, that purple. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. Trying to keep looking out the window because there's a suggestion it might get a bit thundery later on. Not gonna lie, I think it sort of needs to be a bit thundery later on because I'm fed up with it being humid. I don't do very well in the heat, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't built for heat. I'm an autumn winter person, although I like the sunshine that comes with summertime. But yeah, not so much. I do not so much enjoy all the heat, and also for some reason this year there has been a lot of flies around and they're really annoying me now. I got bitten by one yesterday. That really hurts. It was like, I think it was a horsefly as well, so they're one of the bites that like swell up and go all horrible. Sure you needed to know that, I don't know why I'm telling you that. Overshare. Anyway, I've got a slightly darker bluey purple and we're going to go into this little hydrangea bit here. At the moment this is more just about me figuring out where I'm placing things, so I'm not worrying too much about adding too much detail and shading and stuff like that. I'm just kind of blocking out areas of colour and then hopefully I can work into them a bit more. I'll probably end up using like water soluble pencils to work into them a little bit more because you have slightly more control, or I might get like a really thin paintbrush, but for now it's just about blocking out areas of colour. I really like painting hydrangeas on things because they're quite easily to block out if I want to fill up a gap with something, but I do feel like, I don't know, it feels like there needs to be something else here that isn't a hydrangea, but I haven't figured that out yet, so we're going to work across rather than upwards today. I could always figure it out in my sketchbook, maybe perhaps study a few little butterflies and see whether I think they could work there, but sometimes I feel like I have to study them first and then I can manipulate them to fit where I want them to go. Really not 100% sure if my internet is working today, so I'm very sorry if this is like a laggy video. We're having a bit of trouble with our internet recently. I mean, it's because we basically live out in the sticks, so the internet doesn't always behave itself. Hopefully if I start doing some more of these live streams, I can invest maybe in a bit more equipment. It's like I really want to get like a slightly better webcam and some better lighting, but yeah, that's all just future stuff. I was saying the other day that half of the reason I quite like doing these live streams is because it gets me into a bit of a routine of doing things, because I think when you work or on your own, you can kind of, because you've got no one to be accountable for or to, you kind of tend to go, there's some days where you just don't really get around to doing much at all, whereas because I want to do these live streams on a regular basis and get into like a routine of doing them, I feel like it's giving me a bit more of a routine. It's helping me get out of my creative block that I've been in recently. So yeah, I'm going to hopefully keep on doing these live streams and get into a routine of doing them on a regular basis, although I do feel like I need to start getting round to doing them earlier. I think the trouble is because I worry about what I'm actually doing on them. I spend like the whole day kind of trying to figure out what I'm doing and waste time doing that rather than actually just kind of getting on with them. It's like today, I actually originally wanted to do this live stream at like 6 o'clock and I started it at 9, so that shows how long it takes. I took today kind of procrastinating and trying to figure out what I was doing. But yeah, I don't really know what times to actually try and do these live streams on. I feel like Sunday live streams, or the ones that I'm planning to do on Sundays, I could probably get away with doing like in the afternoon a bit more. So I think this Sunday coming I'm going to try stream that is a bit more, it definitely starts in the afternoon. Perhaps it's a bit longer, but I do like a lot of different things in them rather than just one thing, but we'll see how we go. Right. Okay. Gotta hold on. I'm happy today, and it's slightly irritating me now. I may have to put on some Spotify music in a minute just to kind of sing something else, because it's been a bit of an earworm all day today, and to be honest, don't really know if I like the song anyway, so I'm singing it even though I don't know if I like it or not. Right, let me stick on a bit of Spotify, grab myself a drink as well because thirsty. I think I might leave the little hydrangea bit, and I'm going to come down here and just move the camera across a bit so you can actually see which bit I'm working on. I want to work on this little irisy bit. Now again, the only issue is that I've lost the original reference photo. Luckily I know what the flower is. Oh, it's gone really hot and humid in here tonight. I thought it was meant to thunder. Maybe it's getting hot and humid because it is about to thunder, hopefully. Quite like a thunderstorm. Right, I'm just going to mix up like a lighter bluey pink colour, because I know I want it to kind of be a purple hydrangea. I think these bit here need to be a lot whiter, and then yeah, I don't know, let me just see if I can find a reference photo that I can use, because as I say, the reference photo I was originally using has disappeared. Do what you feel, pass me over. Okay, so I've got a few reference photos up on Google, so I'm just going to kind of use a mixture of them, I think. So let me mix up a bit. So I've sketched something out here, which I presume was the rest of the iris. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just go for it. So I want to lighten up this bit with a bit of white, make that bit stand out a bit more. If worse comes to worse, I can always paint over the top of it and change it to a different flower, but I think this bit was probably quite white. Okay. Actually, I think that is kind of because they have like these white, yellowy, fluffy bits. So I'm going to get out some yellow. And that would be quite good because that would tie in with some of the other colours on the illustration. But I think, yeah, I think this is like the. And then there's also probably a bit, if I look at the reference photo, they all seem to have like these yellow bits on them. And then there's probably another bit there. And I think it's like yellow fluff. Lighten these bits up, introduce a bit more yellow. Lovely, and then let's go with a bit of a darker my eye keep twitching at the moment, it's doing my head in. This iris definitely needed to be lightened up a little bit. It's looking a bit dark, and I think what I probably need to do is darken up some of the green in the background. I do think as well, because this is obviously an old painting, or an old illustration. I think sometimes because it's been quite a while since I properly worked on it. Obviously I worked it on a little bit the other day in the other live stream, but because I've left it a while, like my painting style has changed a little bit. It's quite interesting to see. Like, I think when I originally started painting this, I'd spend hours kind of doing everything really meticulously first, whereas now what I tend to do is I kind of block out colours and areas and then go through and work into things with DL. I was evidently a bit more patient when I was painting this to begin with. I haven't necessarily lost that patience, but I just find it, I think you just kind of change the way that you do things over time sometimes. Painting the rest of this petal. And I'm going to fill in some of this bit. Okay, so we're getting the iris hinted back in. So I'm going to start painting this part of the iris now, I think. Which is going to have to be a bit of a guess as to what I'm doing because I've lost the reference photo. I think there's probably a bit of petal there. I've lightly sketched it in handily when I was going to lose all my reference photos. But yeah, I've sketched in kind of like a petal shape here very roughly. You can't see it on the camera, but luckily I can faintly see it. So this bit's, because it's like a bend, this bit here is going to need to be quite a light colour to hint at the bend that's going on. Mix in a bit of the blue. Okay, just gonna have a sip of water because my throat's hurt. I think there's probably a bit of, if I put a bit of like the yellow fluffy bits that you get on irises on this bit, it will then distinguish between what's these little petals in the middle as well. Okay. Bit more yellow into this bit down here. I'm going to have to darken some of these bits soon, but I'm just working on blocking out a few areas of colour. Okay, just going to add in a bit of a purpley bit just to the edge of this petal. Add in a bit of pink as well, just because I like to have a bit of a play around with some of the colours. I think when I originally drew it, this little petal was sticking up and kind of folding upwards. Or was it? It might have been a hydrangea, but okay. Let's go and work in with some darker bits under this petal here. I think I need to mix up like a darker green, because I think we're losing some of this hydrangea, not hydrangea, it's iris, to the colour of the green. So yeah, darken up that green there, and then we can add in some branches and some leaves and some twiggy bits at a later date. Right, I have no idea what I'm going to do here or here. I think I might just go in with like a dark green. I can always like add other things in at a later date. So let's go. Or would that be the rest of the iris? Does it even matter? No. We're going to paint it in, and I can always paint in a bit more of an iris if I need to. Might end up extending this little bit of this branch down. Okay. Let's just get some colour blocked out. What I quite like about drawing or doing a design with like flowers and stuff in is that if you're unsure about what to put somewhere, you can always stick a leaf in or a branch or something and just kind of pretend that something's growing in front of it and things like that. So if like me you've lost like the reference photo, I can always, yeah, as I say, put a leaf and a branch and a twig in, or a butterfly, and just have something growing in front of the bit that I'm not sure about. So I'm just gonna block out this bit here. And then I think, yeah, I'm gonna paint in some paint in a bit of a red bit there, because then it'll belong to these little flowers. So I've got to make a few decisions. Do I carry on with painting a hydrangea up here? I think probably yes. But I might, as I say, cover bits of it with some leaves and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to extend that hydrangea up to there, paint some little red branchy bits in, I think, and then I need to start figuring out what I'm further up. But yeah, let me paint in this some red twiggy bits or branchy bits. Okay, I might paint another one coming up here. I think I might paint it so it goes in front of that bit. Jubbly. And then I can always paint another little red branchy bit coming down here, because it could be attached to another plant. Obviously these little red lines and stuff are going to need to have some shading and stuff put on them. My eye keep twitching tonight. I am going to have to put on some music. I've just realised I'm sitting here with my headphones on and I've got literally nothing playing in my ears. Put another red bit there. Well, I haven't decided what flowers are going there yet, so. Okay. Right. Keep trying to remind myself to not get too hung up on details at the moment, because if I start doing that we'll be here forever. I just kind of want to get the whole painting filled up with flowers. I might just zoom out a little bit more so you can see how it's looking at the moment. Okay. I'm pondering. Right, I'm going to listen to something on Spotify because I've got that song stuck in my head. Let's find something I want to listen to. Right. Well, I do wish my eyelid would stop twitching. This is either going to come on really loudly in my ears or really quietly. I haven't plugged my headphones in. up on the wrong side of the bed. I think what I'm actually just going to do is I want to add some little lighty green blobs down here, so I'm just going to use my little acrylic papers. And then I'm just going to grab a slightly different paintbrush, kind of splodge. It's always a good time. Because I want to try and make sure I keep the vibrancy, and it's gone a bit dull down here, so I'm just going to dodge around with some of these colours. I can always dull them down in the future. Right, what am I doing? It's always a good time. I think I'm bored of painting this bit, so I'm going to move up and paint this bit up here. It all has to be painted at some point, so I might as well move on to a bit that I want to paint. Good time, yeah. It's always a good time, yeah. It's the wrong paintbrush. That's alright, I can always go over the top again. It's always a good time. I'm at a stage where I don't know what I'm doing with any part of this painting. Add a bit, lighten up some of these little bits behind the flower, because I really want it to be quite a vibrant painting, so I don't want it to get too dull. But I'm going to add the details into this little flower at the top. I think when I first started originally painting this painting, I imagined it to be like a textile-y type print, so I'm kind of coming at it from that type of angle where it's like bright colour shapes and bright marks rather than necessarily actually a full painting. That makes sense. I'm just going to go in with a browny reddy colour and start kind of doing the shady parts. I think I probably need to get a smaller paintbrush out though for that. My only issue is that this piece of paper is too big. I'm having to kind of fold it upwards. I should have probably set up my easel to work on this, but it's alright. Maybe another day when I'm less lazy. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of work in a bit of a pattern, because I'm looking at the different reference photos that I've got for these little spiky flowers, and they tend to kind of go in like little rows where they curve round. Oh, I just heard our little local owl for the first time in a while. So I'm just going to roughly sketch out the little spiky bits, and then I'll go in and add some little white dotty highlights in. From what I can remember from the original reference photo, is as it got closer to the top, it kind of just became a bit hard to distinguish some of the little spiky bits. So it's only like in these darker areas where you can properly see them. So I'm now going to work in to add in some of the yellowy lighter bits in. Okay. Going to paint in some of these little filler flowers as well. They are, from what I can remember, they're little blue filler flowers. So I'm just going to paint in some little blue petals. And I'm just going to start working in and painting some of the darker bits. for us. So I'm just going to paint in a bit of a darker reddy area, and then I'm going to paint in some little blue flowers on the top. Try and fill out some of this area with a darker red. So I'm lasted too long. Okay. Go by. So now I've started darkening up these bits. I can now add in a few little blue flowers, and we'll gradually go out to some bluey colours. Okay, let's get in some blue. Just going to do some, actually I'm just going to do some little blue blobs, and then I'll work on making them look a little bit more pet. Because I think what I seem to remember when I was originally planning out or like thinking about this painting was that they was like painted flowers which like really detailed, and then there was like little what I call filler up flowers where I just had to like a gap in the paint. So yeah, I'm just gonna blob out a few areas, and as I say, I can then go back in and add some petal details into them later. Or might even just leave them, because might just even leave them like blobby detailed, but I probably won't do that. Don't know why I'm saying that, because I definitely won't do that. So I'm just going to blob out a few blue areas, and then I'm going to mix a slightly lighter blue, by mixing up a bit more white into it, and then I'm going to blob out a few more blue bits. Because as these flowers in the background don't need to be quite as in focus as the ones in front. going to add a bit more white in, make a really lighter blue for some of the potential flowers that are in front. But yeah, not too worried about making these ones too petally shaped at the moment because they're just kind of out of focus in the background. Gonna go back in with that reddy bluey colour. I'm just gonna it looks more black than anything. But that's alright, it is a reddy bluey colour, it's just a very dark reddy bluey colour. Me. It ain't me. Just gonna add a few little branchy bit details in the back, I think. Me. Try not to paint over that little petal that I painted there. I could do the dark side of the moment. To the dark side of the morning. And a few more bluey blobby bits. I'll put a few bluey blobby bits down here. Maybe another bluey blobby bit there. Bluey blobby bit there, one there. Just gonna add in a bit more white. It ain't me. It ain't me. Alright, we're gradually figuring out some colours and some shapes. So what I'll probably do at a later date, as I say, is I'll go back in and like add in some petal details to these little bluey blobby bits. But for now, quite happy with just kind of blocking out a few areas of colour. Space, out of space, my love. fire, fire. Gonna let it burn, 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 burn. Fire, fire, I'm gonna let it burn, 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 burn. I was evidently planning on doing some hydrangeas up here, because I've sketched them out again. Light it up, up, up. Fire, fire, fire. I'm gonna let it burn, 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 burn. Fire, fire, fire. Fire, fire, fire. Gonna let it burn. I need you right now. I need you right now. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Forever young. Just take your time. So I think what I'm going to do is do a similar thing with them as what I've just done there, down near the iris that I've just painted. So let me, my keyboard's in the way, nice and helpful. Let me shift this up so you can see what I'm doing, because so, hold on. So yeah, around this bit here I've got a similar thing where I just fill it up with a few little filler flowers and some blobs. So I'm going to go on with my dark colour. Probably not going to work on this painting for too much longer. I might move on to doing the little bear one, but I'm just going to, as I say, get these little filler blobs and dots in. And then yeah, we'll go and move on to the blue one, because I think the trouble is if I work on stuff for too long I tend to kind of start ruining it. So I'd rather kind of gradually build up things, especially when I'm sort of making up the whole composition in my head as I go along. Ready for your life. It's right. When superhero learns to fly. For your life, Feels right, it's when superhero learns to fly. The superhero learns to fly. Your life, superhero learns to fly. Zoom out a little bit more. Hold on. Superhero learns to fly. I think eventually this bit here is going to need to have some greeny, leafy, blobby bits put in as well. Right, okay, I think I'm gonna leave this painting for today because my interest has gone on it. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to working on the bear one, I think. Although I'm just gonna go and have a quick little comfort break. So I'll be back in a second, and yeah, as I say, I'll come back and we can get on with the little bear one. But yeah, I think it's coming along quite nicely, this one. It's looking nice and vibrant anyway, and it does remind me of like a little textile print, which is what I'm kind of after, because I kind of want it to be a bit more like bright and vibrant and colourful. Yeah, coming along. Right, so yeah, let me just put that to one side. Let me just show you quickly what it looks like next to my ginormous face. Hold on. So hold on, let me just quickly show you like a proper full view. So yeah, it's coming along, let me hold it up against, coming along quite nicely, I think. It's looking nice and vibrant and colourful. Obviously still got a bit more to do at the top, but we're and I've still got to figure out what I'm doing here, but we're gradually working our way around. So yeah, once I've blocked out all the colours and stuff, I can then start adding detail and highlights and shading and work on balancing out some of the colours a bit more. But yeah, we are figuring it out, which is good. So I'm going to put that one to one side, and I think the next one that I'm going to sit and work on once I've had my little comfort break is this little bear. So it's quite a big bear panoramic, but yeah, we're going to carry on working on that for a little bit, probably for about the same amount of time. So yeah, once I get back from my little comfort break, we're going to work on this little bear panoramic together. I do have a bear down at the bottom which I still need to paint. Hold on, let me show you him. Here he is. So I think what I actually might end up doing is focusing more on studying and painting some of the leaves and stuff like that, but we will figure that out once I got back from having my little toilet break, or comfort break, going to the loo basically. So yeah, I will be back soon. Right, I am back. So, yeah, I'm going to move on to working on this little bear painting. So, where am I at with it? So far I've got this little bear at the top who's sitting there quite happily. I do need to paint in his eye properly and stuff like that. I've got this second bear dangling around on his little branch. And then I've got this third bear which I need to really work on his face and the rest of him. But I think I am going to sit and paint the little fourth bear tonight who's sitting there poking out the bottom. So I'm just going to have to shift a few things around on my desk because it's such a big painting that I need to try and make some room to actually work on it with. So let me just move a few little things around and put these little paint pens to one side. Have a little shift around of everything. Right. Let's see if I can get him in shot properly so you can see what I'm doing. He's going to need quite a bit of work because I think I've drawn him quite squidged. It's definitely a lot more actual reference photo. He is a lot more cumbersome. And also if he ends up too small he won't fit in particularly greatly with the other bears. So yeah, I need to probably work on de-squidging him a bit. Sorry, I will. Right. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to work on this little bear and then we'll start figuring out how we're going to fill in the little gap bits and what we're going to do for that. And also I do need to work on the third little bear as well. So let me put up the reference photo. I keep on saying I'm going to put the reference photo on the actual screen, but my trouble is actually getting the reference photo off of my iPad in the first place. Where did he go? It's not that one, that's all. I've got too many pictures up on my screen. Not you. Not you, you're that one. There he is, I found him. Right, yeah, I've definitely done him too squidgy, but that's fine, we can get that painted in a minute. So let me put my Spotify music back on. Not gonna lie, I think my internet is lagging a lot tonight, so I'm sorry if I keep on skipping little frames. Right, anyway. Now then, where do I start? Because compared to the okay, right. We'll figure it out as we go. I think I'm actually going to start here because I don't want him to end up too much further across. So right, let's go in. I'm not going to faff around. I want to try and get quite a bit of this painting done as well. Right. Do 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 do. Something making a weird noise outside my bedroom window. I seen the van for songs about me. I am crazy about the words, but the melodies are sweet. Do 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 do. Right, so I'm going to raise his back up a little bit more. Do 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 do. He used to sing me sweet melodies. He played me, made me believe. He played me, made me believe. Oh, the syncopated piece. He was just a tiny dancer. He had control of my beat. Made me believe. He used to sing me sweet melodies. You played me, made me believe. So I've definitely done his head too squished in, so I'm basically just moving it along. Made me believe. But yeah, the key thing is I don't want to move him too much this way, so I'm going to have to move him along this way. Made me believe. Say you did me wrong. Take a little bit of black paint out, not a lot. just here along. Go by. Just using a slightly bigger brush because I want to fill out a bit more area. I don't want to get too hung up on details at the moment. He is not going.